All right, welcome to Jamie Learns Standard. This is the first installment, and welcome, Jamie.
Hey,
And
it's
I'm
me,
Zane.
Jamie.
And this series is going to be about walking through learning standard. If you're coming from being a modern player, if you're coming from being a draft player, or if you're just coming from being a casual F&M player that sometimes plays standard, trying to step up your standard game, get a little more competitive with if that's F&M that's a little more competitive for you, or maybe going to opens, or maybe going to GPs, or PPTQs, or IQs, wherever you find yourself that you want to be, step up your game, be a little more competitive, you know, that's where you want to be. This series is for you. Or if you just want to have some enjoyable content, you can also enjoy this as well, I'm sure. So, Jamie, what are your initial thoughts on learning standard?
I'm a little intimidated, I have to tell you.
Okay.
I'm very used to drafting, and this is a little different. It's like an insane draft deck. Um, yeah, so it's going to be a little bit different for sure, but I'm excited. It seems like a great format, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting format. So, like, it's very polarized right now. And so some people think it's a little bit stale since you have like your three or four top decks of the format. But I think that's even a better time to learn because you don't have to worry about the stray decks that are around.
Isn't that how standard is in general, though? There's usually the
Uh,
few powerful top decks, or this is like very different, would you say?
so there are normally a few top decks, but it usually changes every week or two.
Okay.
But the format, so for instance, while there was a week of this standard format where it was all black green that dominated the format, and the following weekend black green still dominated.
Hmm.
Whereas in previous standard formats, there would be a change in the meta from weekend to weekend. Whereas there would be the best deck for the there would be the best three top decks, and there would be a best deck for the weekend, but the best deck for the weekend was still the same. It was just a different variation of it, which is it's a little bit different, similar to the last standard format where Marvel had to get banned, Copter had to get banned, so that's the type of thing. It's been a little bit different lately, but it's still a very enjoyable format, and I think it's a lot of fun. And if this is your first time playing standard, it's a lot of fun to get into. There are a lot of cool, powerful cards that I'm sure you drafted that you get to now play in bunches.
Yeah. I'm familiar with all of the cards, so that's a good thing.
Step
Um,
step one, I'll be
Step
familiar
one,
with the
yeah.
cards.
Um, the thing that I think I'm gonna have trouble with is sideboarding, but we can get through it together, right?
Right, right. So sideboarding, I think, is the most difficult part to playing constructed magic, because it involves realizing what's your best cards and what your worst cards are in a matchup, where you have to know your opponent's cards, and that's just a foreknowledge that you have to know. And so a consulting deck list can help that, but also just knowing what you saw throughout the match also helps as well. But
Okay.
I mean, it, I think you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly.
I hope so.
Yeah, so we're gonna jump into a match, and we'll see you in the first match. All right, this is our first match. We have Jamie, and I'm Zane. So we're gonna get started. We're on the play. I
I
think you
think
want
we
to.
want to play first, right?
Yeah, you want to play first. You're playing Mardu vehicles. You want to play
Woo!
first.
Okay, this looks okay to me, right?
So what do you think about this hand?
I think there's too many lands in it,
Okay,
but I
so
also don't think that we should mulligan it. Is that correct?
I think you should mulligan this.
Really?
This is a very aggressive deck.
Okay.
Um, and like even though you have the Thraven Inspector with a clue to draw a
Mhm.
card, you no land drop. No, you have all your colors, which is good, but drawing any lands the rest of the game is bad. So and you don't have like your premier threats.
Okay.
So your premier threats in the matchup are your vehicles and Gideons, and you have neither of those, and
Aw.
you actually have your lesser one drop. So like your curve is Thraven Inspector, Clue into Pia, and that's like it's not that powerful. Like black-green could just go push, snake into Rishkar, and then you're just outclassed. So,
All
especially,
right.
I would definitely mulligan this hand. And 5 lands
Okay.
is a lot.
This is better.
What do you think about it?
This is premium removal, and this is like a pretty decent 3-drop, and we get a
Okay.
scry.
Yeah, I think this is much better. Yeah, especially, and you also have great mana, so I would keep this
Yeah.
hand.
Okay, we'll keep it. We'll put that on the bottom.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so let's start with the red-white land.
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
there's more red than there is black in the deck. Um, all right. So Wandering Fumarole, which means you're probably playing against some sort of control deck or
Okay.
Saheeli deck. If you're
I mean,
familiar with the Saheeli combo.
cat.
Yes, the counter cat or the copycat. Sorry,
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna play out the Paula
Okay.
to a few other lands, right? So I can play
Yes,
this and it's not gonna
correct.
be
Correct.
tapped. Cool. The Paula in.
So those can always be your third land drop, but because it's two or few other. Exactly.
Okay. So we're looking good because Gideon's coming down next turn.
Yeah, exactly. And Gideon is a very powerful card in Standard. If you get to resolve, it's very strong.
Oh no. So will it resolve with 3 mana up and blue?
Now, so here's the thing. You could just try to slam the Gideon and go into the counter spell and force him to have the disallow, but having on 7 cards, and he's probably either blue-red control or Jeskai control, it's probably not a good idea.
So just
Um,
play that Toolcraft.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, you never want to play stuff in your first main phase,
Oh,
um,
okay.
because you unless you like are going to attack with it that turn,
Hmm.
because that changes the decision that the opponent has to make during your attacks.
Okay.
Also, you have a Depala, and Depala has a very relevant ability of being
Yes.
able to search for artifacts and vehicles, or I mean, dwarves and vehicles. So I like attacking with Depala here.
Then using her ability for 3, since we have a 1-drop we want to try to play. Or do you want to do the full 4 here? What would you do?
I would I would consider between 2 and 3, because hitting a um Heart of Kirin is like the ideal, and then playing Heart of Kirin into Temple Bar. But I would probably do it for 3,
Okay.
since we already have a 1 drop to follow up with.
Uh,
And it looks like we whiffed.
Whiff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's fine. Like the whiffs of the deck are going to happen, but the incremental card advantage that you sometimes occur is very good.
So this is not going to get countered. They wouldn't waste a counter spell on it.
Since it's very easy to remove, they're not going to waste a counter spell now.
It looks like they're going to.
Well, I'm incorrect.
Yeah, I
I
don't
mean, it
think
is a
that's
three
right.
two. It is a 3/2, but
I mean, maybe they're just trying to make it to their combo, right? So they're trying to minimize damage.
at this point, we don't know if they're Jeskai or Blue Red. And those are two very different decks. So, alrighty.
So go in with the Paula again. Do we want to just do DePaula for 5 since we are afraid of another counter spell here?
I think doing it for 3 is the best because we want to
Okay.
be able to actually play what we draw.
Okay.
And so basically, the draws that we have in this deck are okay. I would have played the land first, since you
Oh,
don't want to use Aether Hub's energy if you don't have to. So you could,
oh,
yeah, exactly.
okay.
But
Sorry,
you,
I
no, no, you're
I was
good.
thinking we didn't want to give them information by playing a land, but yes, if you're going to use the land, it makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think it's okay though. We're gonna do it for 3.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, you should still do it for 3 because if you hit an artifact, you can just play it anyway. I would probably leave it the red white since we have
Yeah.
one drop red creatures. I don't. They're humans though. They're not. So we got the veteran runnerist.
Oh, so I
Um,
am punished.
yeah, but it's okay.
Okay. It's a
We,
learning experience.
it's a learning experience, and we have all their colors. Colors probably will not be an issue.
Okay. Oh no.
So that was an interesting sequence from the opponent. Now,
So
okay,
we're gonna do the Aether Hub,
yes.
and
Why
we're
are we
gonna
doing the Aether Hub over the Spire?
because we need to tap it for colored mana,
Okay.
and we don't have any artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is white. This is red. But I didn't need to do that. So really, I just cost myself an energy by playing that afterwards. Okay, bottom,
Okay.
top.
Yes. So Scrapheap Scoundrel is very, very good against control. They have to exile it, and they have very few ways to do so, if any, in the main
Okay.
deck.
Should I close this for now, I guess?
Yeah, that's not relevant.
Okay, so we know what's coming up next. We might as well play that because they're showing counter spells, and if it gets countered and goes in the graveyard, that's like a-okay.
Right. So I would. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So I'm going to attack for 3.
I actually. So remember when I said don't ever play things on second main phase? I shouldn't have overgeneralized. So basically, they're not repping. So they have 5 mana up. So what do you think they could be representing?
The funeral
Okay.
could be activated, so I guess
Mhm.
that's why we should not attack, because it could be a 1/4.
Okay. Now,
They could also have a counter spell.
okay. So what what would you do if they activated the funeral to block?
You could disintegrate it.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that
I mean,
wrong?
yeah, that's good. That's good. But and
Oh, so that's why I play out the Scrounger
right,
first. I
exactly.
see.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we're talking through it. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll play out the Spire,
Hmm.
and then we'll play the Scrounger with our colorless mana.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at this.
I'm
She's
a
doing it.
learning. Attack with the motorist.
So basically, my reasoning is if they're going to activate a funeral, they're down to 1 mana source, and they
Hmm.
have to have exactly dispel, which some people do main deck, but they have to have exactly dispel to punish you here.
Yeah.
They tapped it incorrectly, I believe.
How else would they tap?
They tapped a double blue. I think they're trying to activate funeral, and they didn't tap red.
Oh, I see.
Oh no, they
Brutal
have that card. Okay,
expulsion. Wow. Okay.
that card's very
Brutal.
good.
But now we can play
It is
Gideon
brutal in
safely.
fact.
It's actually okay because now I know this is
Right.
going to get countered.
Mm-hmm. Why did you pay 5? That's weird. Um,
And so we want to zero him.
mhm.
Oh, Gideon.
I love Gideon. I play him at all opportunities.
I got him at a pre-release one time. It was very nice. That's
So
the only
now
chance
you get
I've.
to play with multiple of them.
Well, not at the same time, right? That's how that works. You can't have.
Well, yes, you can only have one out at the same time, but
Yeah,
you can have them more consistently.
sure. Yeah, I think I've only played with them twice. Once at a pre-release and once in a draft. So this is very exciting to play with him for sure.
I have played my fair share of Gideon in all formats.
Nice. Is he the best Gideon?
It's debatable between him and the 5 mana Gideon, but he's definitely the second best Gideon, if not the first best.
Okay.
Like he plays a different role than the 5 mana one, but they're the best 2 Gideons.
How many Gideons are there?
Well, if you count Kithian, there's like 5 or 6.
Wow. Okay, so do we want to plus him now? Let's see. They can activate the femoral again.
So what are they representing with 6 mana is the question.
That's a good question. I'm not even sure what their deck is.
Okay. So basically, what you're playing against is a blue-red spell. It's a control deck with Gear Hulks. Their main
Okay.
win con is Gear Hulk and Fumeral. That's actually just how they win the game. They have very
Okay.
few win cons. They might be playing Tower. I don't believe so, but Dynavolt Tower. But they're basically just playing Gear Hulks, and you have the Gear Hulk wrapped up with the license disintegration.
Hmm.
So I think the attack with Gideon is good, especially because you want to be able to ultimate Gideon, but you don't want to do it with killing Gideon. Um, so yeah, I like that for sure.
He's indestructible.
He is indestructible.
Okay, let's go in for 7. Oh,
Is he
what are they
gonna?
doing?
Yeah,
Oh, oh,
that's, that's yeah.
it's
I mean
acceptable.
that's fine. That's like now you get to play. Now you just
Well,
now
I
you get to
attack
attack.
first, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can attack first.
Okay, and then play out both motorists.
Yeah.
It seems like a waste of a disallow, but maybe not because that is a lot of damage for opponent.
No, I agree. I think it's a waste of disallow. But maybe they have something in their hand that they just like. It seems so much better. They must have nothing else to do
Hmm.
because the Gear Hulk is just free blocks.
Bottom the land, top the Pia.
So Pia gives us an artifact, right, for unlicensed disintegration,
Yes.
and it also because you have so much mana, you can just pump, pump, pump
Yeah.
with Pia. So yeah, I like that. But you can
And
also
then,
you can Pia and unlicensed disintegration in the same turn, so that's really cool.
okay, so we're gonna do motorist again.
Sure, yeah. So they probably like the only thing you might have to worry about is radiant flames.
Okay.
They may have Radiant Flames, but a lot of decks are not playing Radiant Flames main because of like the only deck it hits is like this deck and black red aggro. And it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do enough against black green. It doesn't do enough in the mirror. It doesn't do enough against the value Saheeli deck. Like Radiant Flames is at actually very, very low in terms of power level right now.
Okay.
So
All right, so let's try to make Gideon indestructible again.
I so
No?
you have a decision here. You can either make him indestructible or you can try to ultimate him. I think because he was so eager to disallow, you probably should just make him indestructible.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with your play. I'm just
You're explaining why.
yeah, because you could just go.
So,
He could go to Gear Hulk into disallow, negate the emblem,
and that would be not
or
fun.
just disallow the emblem. Yeah. No, I mean it would just he would be down at 1 loyalty, and that it wouldn't be fun. Yeah, I would
Okay.
probably play the Pia first.
Just because then we can get the
Because
extra
three
3
damage is yeah,
damage.
the 3 damage.
Yeah, it's relevant. Okay, so red, colorless, colorless.
So like if they
Oh,
the
okay.
only downside to this is if he goes Gear Hulk into disallow, but I think they have to surprise Gear Hulk because they're too far behind.
So we're talking with everybody.
Sure.
Yay!
And the sweet thing is Radiant Flames doesn't really sweep us because we have a Gideon. Hey,
Ooh.
look at that.
So we disintegrate that in a minute
Right. So
once it resolves.
right, you wait for their counter, you wait for them to target something.
Expulsion. Okay, so still wait for this to target.
Yeah, you have to see what they want to do with that. They have
Okay.
to do it's not like Snapcaster where they can wait to cast it. They have to cast it on the trigger resolution. So they have to choose their targets right now. I feel like it's like return Gideon, kill. Yeah, okay. It is that.
Return Gideon and kill one of the 3 ones. Okay, but we're still disintegrating the Gear Hulk.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's basically that's a threat that's also a good blocker, and you have to do it when they're tapped out.
Gotcha. Because that's one of their win cons.
Yeah,
I'm
very
learning.
very good. Jamie learns.
So I see the appeal of standard. You're playing with some awesome cards.
Yeah.
Does it get boring though playing against the same decks all the time? Or does it just get, I mean, you have to think more about your plays.
True. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, every matchup is different. You can actually just F6. You're not. There's nothing you're
I
gonna
hate
do.
F6.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Um, there's actually yeah. I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it gets boring. Like, I mean, except when you play like the Black Green Mirror 8 times. It doesn't get boring other than that. Like, and I actually like that. So like, I'm not. I don't get annoyed with that. Some people
If
get annoyed with playing the same decks all the time. I don't mind. I don't mind playing established meta. Um, like it doesn't bother me, but I don't play like strictly just standard. So
All right, so is there a 2-mana counter spell? Negate? Do people
yeah,
run that main board?
they do usually run 1 to 2 main board.
Okay. So do we hold Gideon? Because they bounced it, so they know it's in our hand.
I feel like
Let's,
attacking first is better here, right?
okay, and we're not playing out the mountain.
Although,
No, we
wait a
are.
second, wait a second. If we Gideon and they don't have negate, you can emblem and win.
Hmm. Can't we just win with P Pia being pumped, the
Yeah, but then
Thopter?
they have a kill spell. Like they have to have a negate or kill. Like so, basically, you want to force them to you want to make it so they have to have two things that they can't have. So basically, if you attack, right,
Hmm.
and they kill your Thopter, you have play a Gideon and they could still maybe stabilize. But if you play the Gideon and emblem, you kill them through a kill spell because they have to have actual double shock to kill you if their Gideon resolves.
Sure, but even without the Thopter being pumped, it's lethal. But okay, so you still want to play the Gideon here. They know we have it. We might as well.
No, no, no. What I'm saying. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying, or would you like to clarify? Would you like me to
You want
clarify?
to you want to make them deal with two threats. I'm seeing what you're saying.
Right, because if they negate the Gideon,
Hmm.
then you just
Then they
win on the
can't.
board.
Yeah. So
If they
let's.
don't negate the Gideon, you can emblem, right?
Hmm.
And then that means that you also win through a removal spell.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how you tap.
Well, I wanted to leave up red for the
Oh,
pump,
okay.
but just
That's
one red, so we were fine. So you want to try to emblem here?
yeah. That
I
sounds
mean, we
good.
could even just plus him and make him a
Yeah,
5/5.
but you can't attack this turn. He has summoning
Oh,
sickness.
summoning
Yeah.
sickness. Gross.
Yeah, well, he's a planeswalker. He's pretty good.
You mean he doesn't have haste too? Come on.
Oh, sorry.
We got there.
The Yeah, because he doesn't have Kozilek's Return there. Kozilek's Return deals 2 to each creature. So,
Okay, so how do we sideboard?
okay. So, what do you think is good in this sideboard?
Absolutely not fumigate.
Okay.
Probably not fatal push either. They're not playing a lot of creatures. So
Right.
what is good in this sideboard? Probably another Gideon.
All right.
We could probably take out
Bring
a
that in.
fatal push.
So, what I like to do is I always like to bring in everything I want and then cut everything I don't need.
Release
So,
the Gremlins might be good, but no, I mean they just
no.
have the Gear
Right.
Hulk.
So, you don't want to react.
No.
Planeswalkers are very important against control.
Hmm.
It creates a threat on the board that is very hard for them to deal with. So I think Chandra is also very strong.
Both of them?
Yeah, since it deals 2 damage each turn and also draws you cards and then eventually just threatens an emblem. And so there's a Needle Spires in the sideboard. Are you wondering why there's a Needle Spires in the sideboard?
Yes.
Okay. So the Needle Spires is in the sideboard for when you go up on expensive cards. Since your deck runs very few lands, it's hard for you to support so many 4 mana spells because you only run
Okay.
23 lands. So and Needle Spires is also a threat on its own. So it's actually for when you bring in all these planeswalkers. You bring in the
Okay.
Needle Spires.
For 24 lands, that makes sense. All right.
Exactly.
So I think we can cut the fatal pushes, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
And what else is not very good against them?
The other two cuts are tough.
Yeah. The Apprentice?
The Apprentice is pretty aggressive.
Or do you think the Pias?
I would probably cut because you added so many things on the high priority curve. I would
Yeah.
probably cut like a Pia and an Apprentice.
Okay. Cool. So those are the two I was eyeballing. So that
Okay.
makes me feel
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, because you don't want to have. You still want to have some of each. Right?
Yeah.
It might be. I'm actually unsure about this. I haven't really played this deck enough to know like solid sideboarding, but I do know that you do want the planeswalkers. Like if a planeswalker just resolves, it's very hard to deal with. So,
Hmm.
what do you think?
We have our threat, and we have this Grounder, which is good against them, so it's a keep,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
They also mulligan to 6, so that's a nice thing to see.
Always nice when your opponent mulligans for you. They're doing the work for you, right?
Yeah.
It's like when your opponent's fetch and shock in Modern.
All right, so I'm gonna go the advantage.
Right. So there's no land destruction or land hate in Standard, so there's no reason not to play your dual lands.
There's no land destruction in standard. People just don't play it because it's too expensive, is what you're saying.
Well, there is land destruction legal, yes. There's no
Okay.
there's no playable land destruction.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Ether Hub, just in case we want to play Disintegration at some point. I'm
Okay,
not sure.
that's
Does
fine.
that make sense?
Ether Hub or Spire both have their arguments because you're going to have artifacts for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Either one is fine.
Would you?
I would probably lead with Aether Hub
Okay,
and
cool.
then go Spire.
Okay.
Yeah, those draft basics over there.
Draft basics.
Yeah.
Oh, anticipate. Whoa. Really? People play that?
Yes. So anticipate is like so basically you don't have that many good draw spells in standard.
Hmm.
So anticipate's like the best you get. So it's like to smooth out your draws. They need something to do. So basically they on 2 they like to hold up harness lightning. So they want to do something else if they can't harness lightning. So it's
Okay.
actually pretty, and it also gives them good selection to smoother draws to get land drops or hit more removal, whatever they need. That would have been much better on
Ooh.
turn 2.
Yeah.
Oopsie. No, that's
Okay.
fine.
So I'm gonna attack with this Grounder,
Oh yeah, get in there.
and then we're gonna try to play the Harvester, or no? Do you think they're
Yeah, that
gonna?
sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good to
Okay.
me.
They don't have disallow, right? That's 4 mana. Or is
This
it
allow is
3?
3. This allows
Okay.
3. But remember, this is different. This is a different situation. Remember last game you had the Depala, so you
Hmm.
didn't need to. You didn't need to. Like just wasting 3 mana when you're the aggro deck against the control deck is not recommended. But last game you weren't wasting it. You were trying to use it. You know what I mean? Like that's fine.
Yeah, that's actually makes me feel safer playing my 3 drop.
Yeah, now they have to negate this, which is great. And they have to
Yeah,
waste a removal spell on a Scrounger, which is going to come back when you finally draw a creature.
right. I'm happy with that. Oh,
Hmm,
anticipate again?
maybe.
Ether Meltdown.
No.
Ah, ah.
I mean, now you just never need to activate it.
Yeah,
Right? Now it just is an artifact that sits there for Spire, so it's actually pretty good.
cool. That's what I've always wanted.
You always wanted an artifact there?
Yeah. Okay, Gideon or no? Because once again, they have counterspell mana up. So we could try to, let's see. I'm gonna play Plains for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
If we think this is gonna get countered,
So they only have 3 cards left though.
we could
And
we could go for it,
you're gonna have 5 mana next turn, which means you can go Pia Heart next turn.
which is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Yeah, why not?
What's the worst that could happen?
Like the only other thing you could do is like go Pia. No, that's not even good though. Yeah, go ahead. Like it's not even good because if it gets countered, you're still not able to bring back Scrounger this turn. So,
Yeah,
but Scrounger's. Oh, there we go.
it's 0
Yes,
because the other one doesn't do anything this turn. I'm
that's right.
learning.
The only one you ever do sometimes is you actually sometimes on an empty board will play a Gideon and Emblem.
Huh.
Because they have sometimes will have an answer like against like black decks when if it's really important. Like if they're not ahead on board, you can like just play it and implement when it's important. You also do that on boards a lot of the time. Like not on empty boards very frequently, but on boards that have creatures, you'll just like play emblems. It basically is just like a 4 mana. My creatures are forever bigger
Nice.
because you have multiples. So who throw one away.
Aw, poor Gideon. Don't tell him that.
No, he's a good guy. He's an
He
outstanding individual.
understands.
He understands. He's one for the team.
All right, so we're not playing the Vantage because we have 2 things that we want to do.
Right.
So we are going to attack for 2. Wait, are we going to send Gideon as well?
Um,
They could have disallow. Does that matter? Not particularly.
I mean, they're gonna disallow no matter what you do, right? So, and disallow doesn't actually undo the plussing. Like
Okay,
you still get the counter because the counter is the cost. The
right,
cost is to increase it by one,
right. We
and
just wouldn't get
then
in for 5 with him.
right, and I think that's
So I think
fine.
we, yeah, I think we do it.
He has no blockers. Like he has no way to cast a Gear Hulk yet. That's next turn.
Yeah, and if they disallowed the Gideon, that'd be great because then we would be able to play both our
He
things.
does have the 4 mana expulsion, brutal expulsion, which means you could bounce it this turn, but then you just replay it.
Right,
So
and
and you could play the advantage. Oh,
bombardment
yeah.
is fine. Bombardment on a token feels bad, man.
Well, he's bombardment a scrounger and a token so far, so not the best of game.
So what is more important to get on the board? Heart of Kirin or Pia?
Heart is more important because Pia fuels the scrounger if it's countered.
So if he's playing a counter spell, it's disallow. Would
Hmm.
they counter the heart or the Pia? Like which one do you play first to try to bait it out?
I would probably play the Pia first,
Okay.
because that's the one you want countered.
Yes.
You always play the one you want countered first.
But if they're smart, they know that?
No, because like if they let it resolve and you just don't have anything else, then they get punished. Like, and if they have a counter and they saved it, then that's good. But you still have threats.
Woo!
They don't have anything in this game, so
I'm sorry, opponent. Look how far down we are on the clock, too.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
we're talking through all.
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And so yeah, when I'm drafting and stuff, I usually don't think as much
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it's
It's
second nature.
ingrained.
Yeah.
Ingrained.
So eventually I'd like to get there with standard as well, but this is my first time playing, so
And every time you play a new deck, you're always a little slower too. Well, at least I am. Like whenever I play a new deck, I always, it takes a few times, and then I
and
pick it up.
that's a good thing because yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to be an expert the first time you play it.
There are some people that have a natural talent where they can just pick up a deck and play it, but there's some people that have to work hard and they have to learn the interactions and because you have to not only know what your cards do, you have to know what the opponent's cards do in the format you're playing.
Right.
So you have to know what all the other standard cards do, as well as your own cards and how to interact with them.
Ooh,
And
sounds
overwhelming.
complicated. Yeah. Well, so for me, I always want to be an expert right away. Like being a beginner is like really hard for me. So I've been fighting this standard thing for a long time, but I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm glad you're ready.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go to a pro tour, you should know all the
Yeah.
formats. So it's important. And standard is kind of a big deal. I mean, a lot of people play it, right?
It's the most pushed format by Wizards, so yeah, it's very important. This a sorcery Gear Hulk?
Why would they do that?
Oh,
Oh, release the gremlins. Sure.
oh wait, that makes way more sense.
Okay, so F6. Shambling Vent comes in tapped.
Okay,
Okay,
definitely your
so
land drop for the turn.
yes, but we don't have to play it until after combat. That's giving them
Are we
information that
attacking?
with Gideon, yeah, I'm gonna plus Gideon in attack. Why not?
Okay.
Right?
I mean, it's probably fine. You could because there's options. You can attack with Gideon, or you can just make a 2/2 so you can block his 2/2s. Because right now, if you attack with Gideon and he has a removal spell, Gideon falls down to 1,
Okay.
and then you're not
So
able to emblem anymore. But whereas if you just make a 2/2, you're able to block both of them.
sure.
But I actually do like attacking here because it only has 2/2s, and like you're not going to use it on license on a 2/2. You're going to use it on a Gear Hulk.
Right. I like being aggressive. Is that the
Sure,
wrong line?
that's fine.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I like attacking with the Pia, but
I wasn't gonna attack with Pia.
okay,
I think she's too valuable.
yeah. I mean, that Harvester can make it so something can't block, which is kind of cool if you read Pia's ability.
Yeah,
So,
but we don't need to worry about that right now.
nah, later. Like,
Later. Much later.
because if he jump
Okay.
blocks here, right, the opponent will not be able to attack back. But the opponent does not jump block, they take 5, go to 10.
Well, we can also use the harvester as a blocker.
We can. Harvester will always block, which is cool.
Yeah.
So even though it's meltdown, it can still block.
Okay, so vent is going out,
Hmm.
and we're passing the turn.
Sure.
Holding up disintegration, which we would use the energy for, right? We might as well hold our
Right,
life.
because
But life doesn't matter at this point?
yeah, life always matters more than energy in this deck,
Okay.
right? Well, at least right now, because the only energy outputs you have is Aether Hub and Harvester, and you already have one Harvester that's malfunctioned. So,
Man down.
yeah, man, down. I mean, life probably won't be relevant, but you might as well use your other resource that is not 100% not going to be relevant.
Sure.
Like, I don't
Okay.
think we'll be in a racing situation with the Harvester, so
No. Okay, so I'm gonna crew
sure.
with Pia.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Pia. She likes to drive life gain harvesters.
Does she?
Yeah,
Oh,
she
okay.
told me.
I didn't know you were on like speaking terms.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I like Pia a lot. She's really chill.
Hmm. What happened about, what happened to her significant other?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know.
Kieran?
Heart of Kieran?
No, yeah, well, that's Kieran, like P and Kieran Nilar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we let this resolve and then we disintegrate it.
What is he casting?
Because if they only have one blue up, they're not countering this
Wait, I don't know what they're casting though.
glimmer.
Trying to
Okay.
find
So I can do this now, right? Because this is already resolved.
well, it's not resolved yet. You don't want them
Oh,
to resolve the glimmer yet, though. So with the glimmer on the stack, you don't want them to draw yet. So glimmer on the stack, you can kill it.
right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Black, we're going to use the energy first. We talked about this. Red,
Probably the
colorless.
planes to represent you have something else.
Oh,
Because a big thing about constructive formats is that you are repping and that you have something like a big thing with Magic is the mind games.
sure.
So you want to like pretend like you have something even when you don't, so that maybe someone doesn't go to make the winning line because they are playing around something that you don't even have. So sometimes it's correct not to play your last land in hand.
Hmm.
So I mean, I would play the advantage because you have a Pia and you have a Harvester, which means you could make it big enough to actually hit for something.
Gotcha.
But
So we are once again making him indestructible. That makes sense right now.
sure, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, like just keep beating down, right? They only have 3 cards.
And we're just attacking
You
with
could
Gideon now.
attack with Shambling Event as well,
Oh, Shambling Vent.
because it only gets killed by
Sure.
Bombardment #3 right now.
Right, which it would anyway at some point.
Right.
So it's no big deal. Let's do it. Uh, okay, so I have to pay whites, black. We're representing, so I tap the white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Woo! Okay. And we're getting in there for 7 and we're gaining 2 life. Oh yeah. Hey, this is kind of fun.
Yeah, look at this. You get to smack down with Gideon every turn.
I didn't want to attack with Pia because I just want to protect my Gideon.
Fine, that's fine.
Is that okay, or is that like a we
So
should have sent her?
if you sent Pia in that situation, you put them to 3, dead to an unlicensed, and you don't need to protect your Gideon because they can't have haste threats, and so they can
Okay.
only attack for 2 down to 7.
Okay, so we should have sent Pia there.
Yes, yes,
Okay. So that was a mistake.
yeah. It was a lesson. Is that
A
there
lesson.
are no mistakes. There are only lessons.
I think there's mistakes.
No, no mistakes. Only lessons.
Okay. So we were supposed to be more aggressive because that's what this deck is.
It's aggro. Their
Yes.
control, we're aggro.
I love aggro. Aggro's the best.
The Dynavolt Tower, they're gonna try to kill all our things now.
Okay, so Pia's gone.
It's going to be so sad.
Okay.
Are you familiar with what Dynavolt Tower does, right? You're familiar.
Yeah, so am I supposed to crew this in response?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with tower.
it's a good one.
in the
Especially
right deck.
especially when
Yeah,
you have all instants and sorceries.
yeah,
Their deck has
makes
all instants and
sense.
sorceries except Gear Hulk. That's another way they win is by towering people. Towering
Towering. Ooh,
above.
it's a legit magic card for sure. Okay, why is it showing me my cards? Oh, right.
Scrap Heap Scrounger.
Scrap Scrounger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
you
we
want to
can
make
bring
sure to
that.
do that end step.
Yes, because now we have a creature in the graveyard.
Hmm.
Thanks, Moto. Moto's like, hey, look, you got a Scrounger in here.
Hey, let's remind you.
Okay, end step.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, second main phase. Hold on. Hold it.
hold the phone.
Oh no.
What's so no?
What is this?
They're dealing 3 damage to me.
Oh, to Gideon. They're trying to kill you, Gideon.
I don't think so. It looks like it's going to me.
No, no, but so basically to go to Gideon, you have to go to you and then redirect.
Oh, redirect. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Because
Okay,
you,
we're doing Scrap Scrounger now, though.
yes. Because,
Pay black,
yep.
white.
Wait,
Yeah,
they
bye.
didn't tower?
Are they going to?
So basically, if they don't tower your Gideon before your main phase, you're able to ultimate your Gideon, and they'll never be able to touch your shambling event with the tower.
Hmm. Okay, so that's going to me. I mean,
Oh,
first and
it's
then
okay.
redirected.
Okay. That makes more sense. So basically, Dynamo Tower is a very good way for them to deal with Planeswalkers,
Gotcha.
but not good enough most of the time. So,
So we want to plus him.
yes.
Okay.
Plus,
And then it's attack with
no,
both and shambling
yeah,
events.
shambles.
Okay.
Get that shambles in there.
Shambles. All right. You.
Probably want to Pace Buyer right now. You only have one energy left, so
Okay.
you want to leave the Aether so it's not just a colorless land.
Gotcha.
Game! Look at that.
Yay!
Easy
Oh, that
2-0
was
and look
fun.
at that.
I liked it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yay, this deck is great.
You like Gideon, right? You're a fan of Gideon?
Yeah, Gideon's a good one.
It's basically if you're playing Mardu vehicles and you can draw Gideon and resolve it every game, and like be ahead, you're probably going to win the game. So,
Gotcha. Cool. So you're
not,
familiar with the opponent's deck as well? Like, is that one of the
yes,
ones that's played?
yes. So it's a semi okay deck.
Okay.
I think it's pretty strong.
So it's not tier one.
I don't like tier assignments
Really?
personally. Yeah, like
Okay.
it's not highly played. So yeah, it's like no, it's not tier one. But tiers are in my opinion are popularity, not power level.
Okay.
Um,
That's
so
fair.
it's not a tier one. No, like the tier ones, if you go by popularity, are Marty vehicles, green, black, 4 colors to Healy, um, and like there's a Marvel deck as well.
Okay.
So yeah, this is a pretty sweet time.
Yay.
Look at
Well,
that.
thank you so much for teaching me,
Yeah.
Zane.
Yes.
I had a nice time with that deck. That was fun.
Yeah. So join us next time as we continue to play Marty Vehicles.